If Tyra's
So, can you hear me? Hello, everybody. So, welcome back to Love Marriage Huntsville panel. Well, last night's episode was actually a lot, because honestly, I actually watched it today. So, you guys, what did you think about the episode? Like a general review.
do
Yeah,
you want to go first? Yeah, because it's a mess.
yeah, I think I'm with you. Like it was a lot. I was just thinking like everything. So let me full disclosure. So this evening I'm driving home and then I'm like, oh, let me quickly watch it. But I was running late, so I'm like, let me listen to the episode before I get home and watch the video. Tell me why I'm listening and I'm hearing all these like things. I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like whilst driving, I'm like, what is going on? And then at the tea party, I'm like, oh my God, I need to just park and like stop watching this and get home and watch it properly. But yeah, no, it was a lot. There's definitely a lot to talk about. Maurice annoyed me a lot in this episode. So
Yeah.
I don't even know what was going on. It was just like left, right, and center. I was not, yeah, it was too much. But yeah, we'll get into it soon enough.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Maurice had me shook. I wanted to come through the TV on him. Like, are are you serious? Like, do you? I don't think he really understands parenting because
At some point, I
he
said,
just made it
why
seem
can't
like,
you be the boy?
right,
Because
you're his father. Why are you not trying to, back up your wife, knowing that she isn't a parent, his parent, and the issues with Kiowa, what have you? Why would you not want to try to minimize that as much as possible? And you are a man. That is a young man. You need to be the one teaching him and raising him up as how to be a man. Kimmy can't do that.
Yeah, and to be fair, wasn't it the whole point of him saying he wanted him to move closer so that he could
yeah,
parent him and really discipline him? So it's like you've asked for that. And remember, Kimi was like, it feels like she would be the one picking
I
up the
feel
slack.
like we're already talking
Hmm.
about the
I
episode.
know. Okay, let's stop. Let's stop. Let's stop.
Let's
Okay,
stop. Let's
yeah.
stop. So, welcome everybody. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to drop the link of all the panelists so that you guys can subscribe to everybody's channel. So today we'll be discussing Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 6, episode 6. I don't know what season we are in, but I'm counting it as season 6. That's just me. So let's start off with Melody and Tiffany. Ooh, I'm
Mm-mm.
happy that finally that Melody decided to bring receipts. Did you see the
Yeah.
receipt she even put on Twitter? It was crazy.
No.
I just saw it as I was setting up. Then I went to Twitter. I was like, damn, she's actually. I think after the whole Martell's interview, she's like, I'm going to drop this. She called Martell. They had a conversation about him picking this child.
Mm, right.
Mm.
I'm not
It's crazy.
surprised. I'm not surprised. To be honest, it's crazy. I'm loving this new melody and I need her to keep this energy because these people dog her out every chance they get. They go on,
Hmm.
they say all sorts of lies, and she just leaves it. She says nothing. But I think it's time to bring the receipts. Let them know you cannot lie on Miss Melody Cherie, honey, because she always got some receipts. And I think that's what she needs to be doing. I need her, like when she played that for Tiffany, I was like, now I need you to play for the whole group. But then again, they'll watch it later on. Okay. So I was like, yeah, please, like continue to record everything. Like with someone like Martell, you need to record the conversations. You need to because you need to protect
Hmm.
yourself. Someone like that will lie on you, would say things that didn't happen and make things up. Like you need your receipts.
Right, like he has been. He's been making things up. He's been trying to make her life miserable. And it's time that he does take accountability for the things that he does. And if that means that she has to record him and hold him accountable, then that's what she's going to do. And I absolutely agree with you. I love this new male. Keep it up, keep going. Like, if you got to start taking video recordings like he was doing with her, popping up
Yeah.
to wherever she was at, taking videos. If you have to do that, then do it because he was wrong as
Although
ever
to
to
be
pop up
honest,
at that party.
I felt some kind of way. I'm not going to lie. I felt some kind of way with the fact that to get evidence, she had to record the daughter. I mean, it has gotten so dirty that
Hmm.
now she had to record the daughter because Martell is going around now. The interview he had with Carlos just showed that he was the one who released that document to Sherelle
Mhm.
because he said verbatim exactly what he released to that lady. So it's
Hmm.
crazy to me that to defend against this man, you have to use your kids.
Mhm. You have to
Yeah,
use the same tactics that he's using.
right.
Because
Sometimes
right
you
now,
can't
Martell
play
is not
fair with
playing fair.
him. Mm-mm.
He's not playing fair anymore.
No,
It's not.
This is real.
I
At
don't
this
feel like
point,
he's. I don't feel like he's ever played fair. He's always had a problem, and it all to me it stems from the fact that he doesn't have control over Mel. It has nothing to do with them kids. It's Mel. That's why
Yeah.
every time he says something or does something, Mel's involved. Mel doesn't have to be there, have anything to do with it. And that's with everyone. Mel is in everybody's mind and mouths that they just cannot function without Mel.
yeah. And
So what do you think
since
about what do you think about Tiffany and Kiki?
oh
No,
that I
not the tea party,
don't worry,
but
don't
her
worry.
Mhm.
conversation.
So,
We're-
to me, it was the cheek, the
the-
audacity of Tiffany to sit in front of Mel and say she felt that Kiki pulled her to her level. Sister, you were down there in the toilet. What are you
I'm
talking about? Like, I don't understand. I'm not here for it at all. I'm like, do you like sis? You
it's like
started
she doesn't even know.
as in she did, and she was just
Mm-mm.
straight face. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, it's like maybe you need some drama in your life, so you like creating drama. But I just didn't get it.
Something.
I honestly
I
didn't
didn't
get it.
understand that either. Why is she so adamant and like inserting herself in that situation? And then for you to say, well, I don't have family, I don't have cousins, this and the third, then you can't relate to what they're going through, what they've been through, or how they handle their family dynamic and situation. You have no reason to insert yourself in that mess. It
And
really
I don't
does
know if
seem
you're
like
the
she has
only
to have
one who is
drama.
mad. She keeps using the pregnancy as a defense. Oh, they're not going to do anything to you because you're pregnant. Like they repeated that statement several times. She should listen. For the fact that people are saying, oh, they're not going to attack you because you're pregnant several times, that should already tell you that you're already doing something that is not normal for a pregnant lady. Almost like they told her that Tiffany, if you do not cause trouble, we're going to send you out of this series. It's like she's working overtime.
And I think that's
Hmm.
what it is. I will be honest with you guys. I personally think she's production's puppet this season. I think that they put the batteries in her back and said to her, you are about to lose your job. Like seriously, if you don't step it up, right? And I think that's exactly what we're seeing. Because even in Tiffany's, we know from what we've seen of Tiffany, she's not this bad. So the way she's acting right now, it's showing someone who is working overtime because they are trying to keep their bag, in my opinion.
I don't know. To me, Tiffany kind of came in a little bit messy because
Tiffany
when
has
she
been
first
messy,
got
but
introduced
she's
and
terrible.
kind of like, yeah, she just kind of inserts herself in certain situation and brings out information or says things that is, you know what I'm saying, not necessary for the occasion. And it's like, why are you even saying this? Why are you bringing this up? Is it for some drama? Then next you
And
know
then
you got questions.
like she would always is the way she acts like she doesn't understand what's going on, as if she's been attacked for no reason. Like you are
Mhm.
inserting the funny thing about Tiffany is that when she was speaking to Mel, I noticed that there was so much cognitive dissonance. She did not know what she was doing wrong, and it was very evident.
Yeah.
I personally think, I think part of it is it's also her personality, and I think that's why these producers, in my opinion, know who to speak to about certain things. It's like we already know your personality, so we know what we can tell you to be enough for you to run with it. Okay, and so I think her personality is very much interrupting stuff, not really like, it's almost like she doesn't follow, she can't really follow through with conversation. She doesn't really understand, oh, what are we even talking about? It's almost like when we could be talking about A and Tiffany will come in and like start saying B. And we're like, this is not even what we're talking about, sis. Like,
And then she acts complete.
but I just think part of it is maybe she has an attention thing, but also I think she's messy. She likes to stir the pot and also hide her hands. And
Mm-hmm.
I also say that is, I think she knows exactly what she's doing, because there was a scene later on where she was smiling at some point. And I was like, why are you smiling? It's given weird. It's giving you know exactly what you're doing.
She
Yeah,
has
I
this
find
thing.
it.
You can go on.
I just find it weird how she kind of like is making her rounds to everybody, stirring the pot. People that she doesn't even deal with. Like, what was the whole point of her going to Latisha and talking to her about her family dynamic or not trusting Keke? You don't went to everyone who will listen to you about business that has nothing to do with you. And then you
Right.
wonder why they're like, no, you're a pot stirrer, you starting mess too much, or what I'm saying, actually coming for her and her fake transparency.
She's not transparent, not 1%.
Mm-mm.
Like this lady has never told us anything about her problem.
Mm-hmm.
She has never. Like, at some point, I'm like, Tiffany, what's your storyline? Do you know last season people were actually coming for them because the only storyline they had was, oh, we're not having sex. Oh, my wife is not giving me enough time. I think that's the storyline they had for like 2, 3 weeks. It was crazy. That's it,
And
two,
that's
3 weeks.
probably
Two,
why they
3 weeks.
have her doing so much.
Yeah. Because
They're
they
like,
were
no, you
Especially,
haven't done enough.
yeah, Tiffany's role on Love Marriage Huntsville has been a pot stirrer. But this season, since no other person is stirring the pot, is now very obvious.
yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely cannot hide that because, like I said, you're making your rounds to people that you don't even associate with. And then I find it real crazy how that a lot of these women have issues with each other, but yet you're steady going back and forth to all of them, basically trying to bring out the problems and make sure that they stay relevant.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, yeah.
I actually, Vanessa is saying Tiffany is messy and brings nothing to the show. She and Louis need to be gone and take them off the show. Do you know what? I might be weird, but I actually don't think so. And the reason I say that is because say what you want about Tiffany, but she's not a follower.
Yeah,
And
she
I
asks
feel
Yeah.
the
like if
questions.
she was, if it wasn't Tiffany and it was someone else, they would have turned her against Mel as well. If you think about it, she's the one person that has stayed cordial with Mel and hasn't
Mhm.
gotten to it in that level with Mel, despite what everyone else was saying. And I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate the fact that she was able to have a mind of her own. I don't like when I feel like people can be so easily influenced and then we don't really know what's the real and what's not the real. So yes, she's not transparent. I think she should have maybe like a friend to the show that comes to all the events. I don't necessarily think she should be like a major cast or anything. Um, that's
But
my
seriously, if they remove Tiffany, who is going to remain? Stormy? Stormy is like a failure of a main cast. She brought nothing. We are six
No,
episodes in. She has brought nothing to the entire
there's
thing.
nothing but a
As much as I
no.
really do not like Tiffany, Tiffany has been bringing spice. She has been asking questions. She has been cussing.
Hmm.
She has been asking things that are provoking people. Because as much as I feel like she's dipping her hands into things that concerns her not,
Mhm.
she asked a valid question that really hurt Keke. If you can do this to your family, why should I have a friendship with you? Because you can obviously do this to me. That is the
Hmm.
It's a
very
good point,
important question.
and it's
Yeah.
a
And
valid
that's the only reason why Keke is pissed.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's why she went, low with her comments. But I also do feel like when it comes to the cast, I feel like Tiffany and Lou are better suited for the cast than Stormi and Courtney, or even Marsau and Latisha. Like, I feel like they bring out more Black excellence than what is being portrayed.
Stormy needs to be demoted back to a
Yeah.
friend. Brought
Yeah.
nothing.
Oh,
Nothing.
Yeah.
don't even get me started on Stormy, because I feel like if you start saying about Stormy, and I know we haven't gotten there yet, I'm gonna start saying a lot of things.
So anyways, let's move to this. The most Tiffany has shared about herself is that she left a good man because he didn't make enough money and she
Mhm.
cheated. Other than that, she decided to have a baby. I'm telling you, Donaldi, that's the only thing she has actually shared.
Hmm.
Now, oh my, I don't think, see, the other scenes didn't piss me off
Oh, hold
like
on.
that did.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Maurice, Maurice.
I was infuriated.
Mm.
Do you know the struggles of being a bonus parent? You have to balance not pissing off the child and
Mhm.
adequately making this child know that I am in control. So
100%.
if the other parent does not back me up, it's like I'm pouring
Do
water in a
it
basket.
yourself.
It's a waste.
100%. 100%. Like, I was watching and I just kept thinking, like, seriously, Maurice, you don't have any common sense. Like, you lack common sense. Because, like, how is your wife expressing to you the fact that you need to back her up? That's
Mm-hmm.
what she said. Back her up. So it's the same way with, like, even, let's say, even two bio parents, right? Who are married and parenting a child. If one party says something and then the other says another, the child will run wild. You need to back each other up. That's just
Mm-hmm.
basic parenting. So, like, the audacity for her to even be saying this to you, and then you're then trying to make it seem like it's about Kiowa. I'm like, what does
Oh God,
this?
don't get me pissed. The way he was trying to force the it's about Kaiwa into
Mm-hmm.
Kimmy.
And then for you
Kimmy
to
and
call
Tisha, they're,
her,
they're expressing the same thing.
Mm,
right? Why would you call this woman when your wife is speaking to you about how she feels? It had nothing to do with Kiowa. I'm
nothing.
pretty sure that if Kimmy had an issue or felt some type of way with that, or that was the problem, she would have spoke on it. But what she spoke on was true. You and Kyra are the real parents. I'm the step parent. I don't want, basically, she don't want to step on the toes of Kiowa as the mother, and she's playing her role as a step parent.
And
Why
the
is
fact
it
that
that Maurice couldn't understand
they
that?
just cover their relationship. So Kaiwa and Kimi are not still like in the best place. They're just like cordial. So now
Mm-hmm.
imagine I discipline monster. Why did you even name this child monster? He's actually acting like a monster.
Of
I
course.
know if I
Right.
was in Kimi's place, I would have bundled this child up. Yeah, and next flight back to your mom. I'm sorry, I'm not doing this. If you are going to
Mm-hmm.
act like a rabid child, I'll tell you to clean your room. You will say no. I'll tell you to do something. You will say no. You don't even listen to my rules and regulations in my house. You might as well get
Mm-hmm.
out.
Right. And
But
she
listen,
actually said it in the beginning that she was going to have to be the disciplinarian when it comes to him, because I think she know. I mean, come on, you guys. There is something going on with that marriage between Maurice. Before Monster even came, there was a dynamic that you could just tell Maurice has really not too much respect for Kimmy and how she feels about things.
a hundred
But
percent.
but she
It's the fact
expressed it
that
before Monster came.
did
Mm-hmm.
you know that in the confessionals and it was like, oh, I also have a problem with monster, I have a problem with monster. That means he's not even putting his foot down
He's
for
not.
what he's supposed to do. So why did
Right.
you get this child from his mom who would have most likely disciplined him? Because from where I'm seeing it, honestly, I think monster has two reasons. Kimmy, because he feels like she's the cause of his parents separation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Two,
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to punish Kimmy because he feels if he acts out, it's definitely going to cause a strain between his dad and his new stepmom. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like killing two birds with one stone.
100%.
Right.
100% agree with you. And for me, it's so disappointing how like you set up this whole thing like, oh, Monster is at an age when he needs discipline, he needs structure, and then you don't provide that discipline and structure. Just because you want your child to live with you does not mean that that's the best place for that child to live in. If you're unable to give him a balance of love, structure, and discipline, what are you doing? It doesn't make sense for the child to live with you full time. It just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You are not doing anything.
As
How,
of course, it comes across as Maurice does everything to shift responsibility. He will
mm-hmm.
never take responsibility for the fact that Kimmi is saying, Maurice, you're the one I have an issue with, not Kiowa. You're the
Mm-hmm.
one is not pulling your weight, right? He
And
is
Yep.
did you know? Sorry, let me cut it. Did you know that when she was complaining initially, it was like, oh, so you tell him to do something and he doesn't do it, and then you let it go. Uh I'm not his mom. Sorry, it comes up
Right.
like I'm saying that it's not his mom, but you get what I'm saying.
of
She's
Yeah.
not
course.
his mom.
Right. And did you see how he tried to gaslight even that when she was like, "Is that what you think I do?" And he basically was like, "So, do you not feel like his mom? Are you saying that you're not his parent? Like,
And
what do
he
you
does
mean?"
That was not the point of what she was saying,
he
dude.
Right.
knows he is another Marsau. He knows they just do that to then make it seem like, oh, I don't really understand what you. It's a lie. It's a manipulative tactic. It's now because moving on now, Kimmi will have to then avoid the conversation that they're having and then talk about, oh no, of course, I'm a bonus mom. I see him. I'm a parent. But then guess what? They've had to move on from that conversation. It's all a
Mhm.
tactic, so you don't
Right.
address issues.
But Kimmy's having to do more than what he's doing. She's being more than the bonus mom. She's having to be the dad too because Maurice is not doing anything. Monster is your son. You wanted him there to come live in the home with you and your wife. Now, yes, she loves him just as her own, but as you've seen, his mother stated, no, I would not like for her to discipline him the way that she does Jalen. And I don't
So
want her
how
doing things that
exactly
I
was
wouldn't
she
do.
him?
That should have been a discussion before he even came. Okay, so what are we going to do about discipline? What is okay? What's not okay? Sat down, all three of you, because every time it comes time for a sit down with all three, Maurice has to go. He can't be there and actually be a part of the conversation. So that should have happened before Monster even came, so that there was no issues or discrepancies. Now this boy's almost 16.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way
Like,
he even cut the call when Kaiwa agreed with Kimmi. It was like, then we have to agree to disagree. If your child at 16 cannot obey or respect uh, a senior or an elderly person that is supposed to instill like it's crazy. At this point, you should know that your child is going through a dangerous part. Your child
mm-hmm,
has not acclimatized to the fact that her relationship broke.
Mm-hmm.
See, that child
mm-hmm,
needs to see a
mm-hmm.
therapist.
Of course.
Yeah,
That should be his priority, not the fact that he wants to blame everyone but himself. You, as a parent, take responsibility for your child. She is a bonus parent. She is not the bio parent. That's the
mm-hmm,
reality. You can say, "Oh, are you saying you're not a parent?" Yes, she's a parent. To me, I don't even like calling the man monster or the boy monster. Like, who does
He's
that?
acting
Who?
like a monster.
And
yeah,
why wouldn't he? Like, think
yeah,
about if you're calling someone something, that is their identity. I don't believe in
right,
giving names that don't match who they are.
mm-hmm,
It's like you call someone a monster a few more times, and then they start behaving like one, and then you're shocked. They're doing
right,
exactly what you call them. What's the problem?
Yeah. So
right,
this is actually the problem. This comment, Maurice is complaining that he has to raise his child. Yeah,
Exactly. That is
they
the
have this
sum of everything.
traditional thought
and
about child raising. Did you catch Maurice? Sorry, Marsau's interview with Carlos last week? He said a woman is supposed to do this thing, a woman needs a man, a woman is supposed to be her home. I was cringing because listening to him and because it's crazy to me that their mom had to raise them because their dad was a deadbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you are turning back and making your wives or your partners do all the work and being deadbeats.
Right. And Carlos agreed. Did you see how much he just agreed with it all and just made it like women?
That was it. Carlos has no idea anything about women and he should not be speaking on it.
And he's doing that a lot. A lot. Why?
Telling women what they're not doing to please their men. Like, how
did you catch the one where he said that women do not have a problem? Some women do not have a problem with their men cheating because it happens and they're always comfortable. They just go about their day. I'm like,
are you a woman? Stop
right.
Simple. Like,
he would not be okay with his man cheating. Like, I can guarantee you, he would have a problem. I think he got a problem with his man cheating right now because we all know Martell Holt. I mean, 305. Yeah. Yeah, we all know what Martell is. But to go back to Kimmi, I'm going to make this point real quick. Think about this. Kimmi was fighting and going through her battle with chemo. And you're telling me that she still had to be responsible for disciplining this growing child who is probably bigger than she is?
I'm telling you.
Plus fight for her life? Where are you, Maurice? Like, Yeah, him and Marsau are definitely brothers.
Most definitely. Like, I don't know why people don't clock on that Maurice is just as bad.
Mm-hmm.
He hides it behind his speeches.
Yeah. He feels like because if he doesn't say too much, then you won't know too much. But we see it.
Yeah,
we don't have to say anything.
Just look at the comments. Kimmi was diagnosed with cancer. Monster should have moved back to his mom. Imagine healing and dealing with 2 children. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is so true. Do you know what?
Yeah.
He comes across as inconsiderate. I don't even think that would have crossed his mind one bit. He would just say, "Oh, you don't want him because he's not your child." Like, stop gaslighting.
Was not one asking for 3 times a day sex?
And acting like that's excessive 3 times a day? First off, isn't Kimmi like a little bit older than Maurice?
Yeah.
Not saying nothing's wrong with her age or anything, but honey, she has lived. She has done some things. Sex is probably not the most important, although she does like sex and wants to enjoy her man, but that's excessive.
Yeah.
And you want her to quit her job, plus you want her to do this, that, and the third for you? Like, what do you do?
It's crazy.
100%.
I just don't understand. What is the business of Maurice? What does Maurice really do? Why are y'all not showing what you guys do?
That's because they do nothing, in my opinion.
Right? I second that one.
It's like, if you're really, you want to show what you're doing. If you're really doing bits and you're succeeding, you want to show everyone.
Mm-hmm.
To see what you're doing. And Maurice, we have no idea what they do.
Exactly.
Like, we know what they do, but we've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's what all of them. You guys say you do something, but show us. Where is it? Like, honestly, now I want you guys' opinion on this. This isn't what I was talking about earlier, but this is one question. Do you guys feel that Melody could be a one-woman show all her own? I do. I feel like Melody could take over and have her own show by herself, showing all of her Black excellence.
Because in women, just like Selling Sunsets.
So I think she could do something with like property preservation. I think she'd be very. She would also be like very good at like showing the money side, because I think those kids are so well managed. But then it depends on like what the court order is, because it would be, I feel like something about like her life as a mom, her and her new
Mm-hmm.
man, she's ready. I think I would absolutely watch it. She is very witty, she's funny, she has a really good aura about her. I would
If
absolutely
she's to
watch
do
it.
that, she has to leave on
Yeah,
TV. Their
Yeah,
PR
she
is
right.
not.
has, because they're definitely going to sabotage her, in my opinion. So
Their
she
PR is
needs to be a really good
shitty.
network.
Definitely going to try. They would try, but I don't know. Melody, she is blessed because no weapons formed against her shall prosper. She is doing her thing. And I also feel like her skincare line, even though she is working out of her home, she is getting them orders out. That is a good show too. Showing her starting from the beginning, working out of her home, building her
And that's
way up
what we
to,
expected from Stormi.
to QVC or, every other platform that she's in. Like, show us that. Like, I will definitely be here for it. Let me see
And
that journey because I know it would motivate a lot of women.
yeah.
Yeah,
So let's
definitely.
move. I'm going to read this comment and then we'll move. Kimmy chased Maurice. Please, ladies, let this be a lesson. Not everyday marriage at any cost. These toxic men bring nothing to the table but want to use and abuse you dry. Let Melody lead the way. Yes.
I agree.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day to all our viewers.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Now, Kimmy and Maurice, they defend themselves well. They will never show any dirty laundry. So
Yep.
now, what do you think about Stormi inviting Kiki to this? Is it Ricky or Reiki, whatever they call it? I was shocked when she said she was a Christian because I'm like,
I'm like,
hmm, mhm. People really change the definition of being a Christian every day.
mm.
Listen, Kiki, I love Kiki, but Kiki gives me voodoo priestess.
Is it the eyes?
Sometimes she just
She
gives
was
me
so
that she
shocked.
will brew up a spell in the kitchen quick. Like she,
She was
Oh,
but
it's
really
I
the
love
shocked.
Kiki. But yeah, when she said she was a Christian, I was like, oh, honey.
mm.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I must not be a Christian. And she's like,
Listen.
well, you can do this
But
if you've
in a
read the
way,
Bible. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
what version?
I know. I was like, girl, that was what I said. I was like, what version are you reading? Because I know there ain't no crystal in my Bible. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait a second. When did they say this? Because I know that we supposed to get closer to God. So if that means, being a little bit in tune with our spirits, then I think that's what you're supposed to do. Come on, no, it's gonna clash. Only the devil clashes with angels. So what are you talking about? Because
This is a very
girl, you
valid
got me
question.
worried.
Before we move on, why don't we see Jaylin filming now? And I wonder, do you still? Yeah, I definitely think he still works in black because if you go to his page, he's always advertising black. But I think the bashing is because people were calling him slow, people were calling him all kinds of names. I think he just decided to remove himself from the whole show. It got a lot of bullying.
Mm,
So it's better he removes himself than getting all this unnecessary bashing.
Now
But
that's
anyways,
that's sad. Jacqueline is actually
mhm,
a good kid. Like he is, and you can tell he does love his mom and wants the best for her. And I
yes.
feel like he
it's one
definitely
of
kind of like comes to Maurice with like, "Hey, this is what you're doing to my mom, and I don't appreciate it. I don't like it." But Maurice just don't listen.
yeah. So I don't know if I'm the one that gets tired of Stormy crying. She gives me the vibes like when the chakra woman or whatever she does was like, "Oh, you have a pure heart," and she started crying. Oh, people don't understand me. Oh, please,
Oh,
that thing was so manufactured. Like I'm supposed to feel electricity. Oh, come on, please.
you,
Listen.
you know the thing about it is this, right? And the thing is, I'm usually someone who has empathy for people, but there's something about Stormy, and you know what? I really wanted to like her. I really tried. Like when the
I
show
never
first
tried. I
started,
knew
and
she was fake.
I I knew she was off, but I was like, okay, let me watch interviews and see maybe it's like editing. Well, you know when you watch interviews, they're like, girl, it's the same thing, honey. Like, like this is who you are.
Right.
Can't get
Right.
behind.
Oh my God, they call me ghetto.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Like, girl, calm down.
that's all, then move on.
You are the
Like,
one who keeps saying, I cuss, I cuss, I cuss. Yeah, you lack the vocabulary.
That was the craziest mess.
I was just like, what is your issue? Every time crying about like, and the thing is, I feel like she loves being approved. She loves the approval of the public. She loves people pleasing. At the core,
Mhm.
people pleaser.
She needs to take
Wants validation.
or leave out of Martell's book because this is crazy.
She sure
Hey,
does.
listen, Stormi, she's always cussing somebody out, and her money is so long. Girl, wipe up them tears with them bankrolls. Why are you crying and you're such a millionaire? I don't understand. Girl, I would be crying because I got 4,000 orders that I haven't gotten out yet, and it's going on some years. Like,
Tell him.
and you talking about oh, I would cry if I had 4 employees and I was behind 2. I would cry. I know I should be having meetings, but I was not having meetings because I don't know how to have a meeting. Oh my God, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry.
Maybe at this point we need to be crying to get them subscribers, honey. Like, take a picture.
Whose money she has taken, shouldn't they be crying too? Do you know how frustrating it is to be a customer? That every single day you have to call the company, where is my product? Where is my product? It's very annoying.
Very.
Right. Like, come on. I know the reviews. They have not gotten any better. And then you're talking about adding orders on top of it. Girl, yeah, you needed that Reiki healing because, oh, child, you're just all wrong.
He has really mastered those white women tears because it came when she started crying. I was like, why are you crying? I can't have friends like this because your feelings will be hot.
Right. Right. See, she's
approval is crazy.
Yeah, she's one of them friends where and when some stuff's about to pop off, you just got to look at them like, girl, you better not. You better not. We are in the middle of the mall buying shoes and you about to cry? Girl, it's okay if they don't have a 7.5. Get that 7, you know what I'm saying? Get that 8 if you need to. Girl, that girl will cry over a drop of water.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, it's just, I think one of the things that makes her so unlikable is the fact that she really goes out there and dishes it out. She would be like, rah, 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 rah. If that's who you are, then maintain that same energy when it comes back to you. Because what you put out is what you're getting back. And so when it now gets back to her, then she's like, oh, they call me ghetto. I'm so, like, seriously, girl. Like, I don't even think ghetto is that bad of a word. Like, seriously, I think that I said that you had a dark soul.
People
like,
call city girls ghetto.
Right.
They don't say anything about it. The reason why she feels it has a negative connotation is because she knows the way she's acting is not ghetto, it's ratchet.
Very. Very ghetto. It's ghetto ratchet. It is ghetto ratchet at its best. Because she just Stormi gives me whole black woman woe is me vibes, like she was always the one. I feel like that's why Betty treats her how she does. Because Betty knows. She probably has always pulled this crying mess to get what she wants. Betty probably does the same thing. And then next thing you know, everybody's like, oh my God, we're so sorry. We shouldn't have thought this about you. That's not happening in this case. Your damage is done. You've done way too much for people to feel sorry for you.
And girl, if you can't take your leave, the reality TV show. Like, you're constantly crying on, off camera, everywhere. Like, seriously, girl. Like,
and people have been saying it. It's almost like she cannot stand the celebrity life. Then leave. I for one know that if I'm a celebrity, I will be cussing out people left, right, center. Nobody's going to try me. Like
And
nobody is
you
going
put
to
it back
try
again.
me.
Right.
And that's just it. So if you cannot stand being popular, leave. But the thing is that she has so much fantasized that she does not understand what it means to be popular. Look at what if
Mm-hmm.
she's in the level of Beyonce, Nicki, Riri, where people are constantly throwing jabs, insulting you every single day, fans going back and forth. She might as well have committed suicide. If you can't take it, leave.
Right. You were so kung ho when Carlos called you the star or the new face of the show. You was, yes,
Was giggling.
smiling and stuff. Honey,
She has
pose for the
arrived.
camera. You remember you're the face. Pose. Quick, quick, honey.
This
Like
is what
stop.
it takes to be the star of the show, honey. You
I'm
ready?
telling you.
Right. Paparazzi coming.
Yeah, because she needs to cry in front of these Real House of Atlanta or Real Housewives women, so she would know what it means for her feelings to be hot.
Ooh.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
I definitely need them to like bring Kenya on so that Kenya can give her a good read, honey, so she can go home and actually cry and never come back on the show.
I'm
Okay,
telling you.
that's what.
So, guys,
Listen.
let's move. Woo! So Martell decides to visit Maurice. Why is he always wearing his suit? He goes there and starts complaining about Melody, obviously his only storyline in the show, and the way he twisted the whole story. Like, I came for my daughter. Dude, you've said this several times that you were not invited. Even in his
Right.
interview, he stated he was not invited. And do you know the goal of this man? In his interview with Carlos, Martell stated that they would have been co-parenting well if Mel followed the court order. I was
That was the
genuinely
biggest lie I have heard. And I'm just like, I feel like if Mel was not complying, it's because you was on some mess and she was trying to protect herself and them children. And I'm pretty sure it's documented. And even though you only gave partial, because the fake documents that was, floating around on Sherelle's world clearly show that it was one sided. Where's the rest of the story? So no, I don't think it was Mel. It's you. It's you not
and it's
doing what you're supposed
annoying
to
that
do.
no single guy in this show can tell Martell the truth because they obviously know.
Yeah, but guess
Hmm.
what? Mattel knows where the bodies are buried. Like, I'm sorry, I would if I
Exactly.
was one of the guys. I'm not saying nothing, bro. I'm not saying nothing. If I know that you have things against me, you have proof of something I may or may not have done, and your side chick has threatened to expose us, I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah,
Especially if
exactly.
you have a family to protect. I'm not saying anything. That's what I think it is. I think he lacks accountability. He will never take accountability for anything. If you hear him tell the story, he'll be like, "Oh yeah, we were in good. We were in a good place. We didn't really argue much before that." Seriously, you took her to court for full custody. You are not in a good place. How can you possibly think you're in a good place? You're delusional, and that's what
Right.
it. And of course, I wish there was someone that could really call him out and say, Mattel, seriously, what are you doing? But until they bring someone else who is not friends with Mattel, who has no history of Mattel, and that person would then call him out. That's what I'm waiting for on the show, if that ever
Or do
happens.
you know that when he was talking to Maurice, he made a statement that life is good, the credit is now good, both financial wise and everything. He doesn't know when he mistakenly says the truth because then he proved to us that financially wise he was terrible. And this is if we're going through the timeline, this is the time he started filming with Sheree. And as
Mhm.
Carlos
Mhm.
said, the men of the women get 10% of their pay. And yesterday when we checked how much Sheree makes, she makes about $1 million per season.
Okay.
So he gets about 100K. That's a lot of money.
Hmm.
So why wouldn't he be smiling financially?
Mhm. Especially for
But
someone.
if y'all seen that, it came out on, through the sun. Was it? Yeah, I think the sun broke it the other day. But
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Marty Marr is
A
behind
lot of
10 mil because he filed for bankruptcy in 2020. And
and
wasn't
it's
that around the time, like, I guess when him and Maurice kind of did get together, link up for him to help him with his credit?
yeah,
So was
because
that
you
a
know
part
what's
of
funny?
it?
Because Mel also filed for bankruptcy that same time. So why is she
Mm-hmm.
not having problem, but he is?
Because he doesn't know how to manage money.
He
Mm.
doesn't have money, not doesn't know how to manage
He
money.
doesn't
Right. He
know
doesn't have money to manage.
Fair
That's why
enough.
that's why all of these business ventures that he's trying, the whole nasty wine, underwear with no meat inside.
And now he
Like,
has his suits coming. It's coming.
Yeah,
The line is coming
yeah,
out
the
in
suit line
5 weeks.
coming.
He has not advertised it on his page. He
he's
like nothing. And the
Mm-mm.
funny thing, it's designer suits, so it's not cheap. So it's
Mhm.
not
Right.
something your fans can wake up and be like, "Oh, I'm going to buy." You have to prepare the money. So now you've not posted it. Only like select people actually know this. So your
Mm-hmm.
fan base are going to be very unprepared when these suits launch, and then you
So he's
wonder
going to
why
do
it
things
fails
basically.
because it's a
Right.
collaboration. So you
Oh,
need
it's
to
That's
make
what
a
he's
certain
banking on. He's
percentage.
banking on the collaboration.
Yes, you need to sell a percentage of the collection named under you.
mhm.
So he's not still taking this whole thing serious because I feel like this is the best business venture he's ever going to get. I actually thought he was going to probably open his own store and have his own suit company, but whatever feels comfortable for him, it's good. Yeah, bankruptcy is a game. They hide the money in their mama's name and they're both of them did not want to pay anything. But now
Mm-hmm.
that he sees that Melody is making money, that's why he filed to get child support. So
Yep, and that's
since
why
he
Mm-hmm.
filed,
now.
that means he actually filed because he had no money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think also that's why he was trying to find out how much she gets from like business. And remember also, allegedly, I better say that, he was asking for details of passwords and things like that so he can get
Yeah, social
access.
media.
Mm-hmm.
Funds are looking like, why do you think in the meeting he was like, ask her what her rate is? What, so you can go to the
Right.
page right now and be like, oh, she's done these number of paid partnerships, so this is how much she must have earned. No, I think
Yeah.
it's with Martell, everything is a game now. Did you guys pick up that Maurice did not really give him much? Maurice did not say anything about
Maurice has
Melody,
no idea about parenthood.
so
He
he
has
ain't got.
no
Mm-mm.
idea about relationships. So
Right.
it's
He
like
tried
you're
to say
talking to
about
a
a
boy.
divorce. That's about all you know is about a divorce.
Really, he would have
And
gotten a better advice from Marsau than Maurice at this rate.
right.
But
But did y'all see that the interview that Marceau did with Carlos? He said that Maurice was a millimeter.
hmm I
yeah,
don't see the millimeter anywhere.
he's not. I think he's just trying to poke Maurice. I don't actually see.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just trying to poke Maurice. He's knowing Marsau, he's probably retaliating for something Maurice must have said.
Mm,
Now he's like, "Oh, you're a millimeter." No, it's not really about that. What I do
right.
do is that Maurice is intentionally or was intentionally in this conversation being elusive because Maurice knows he's not silly. He knows that people protect and love Mel. He does not want nobody coming for him. He's trying to avoid that. So that's why on this season, even though you can tell sometimes he can't really hide his facial expressions, but you can see that every time Mel's name comes up or in some way, he tries to avoid being that intertwined in the conversation.
I mean,
And I
after
think,
she called him
Mm-hmm.
irrelevant,
yep,
he's not coming
because he
back from
is
that.
relevant, in my opinion. He brings nothing to the show. But there
Um,
is something that he did say in this scene that really, I was like, okay. And I felt was an indirect dig towards Martell, but Martell is not going to understand that. He was like, anything within my control, I'll handle that. So he's saying to Martell, like, yo, you control how you behave,
hmm
and then let her do what she does, okay? Let.
mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. Martell is never going to pick that up. He's not that smart. Like, as soon as he
Mattel
said that,
has
I was
been
like,
babied all his life.
mm,
And he has been told by several people, you are not at fault.
Mhm.
So there's no hope
But
there.
like it's been said, Martell has intel on everyone, and they are not going to say too
Oh,
much.
thank you for saying that statement. In the interview with Carlos, it was like, "Oh, I never really do much to Mel. Do you know what I have in my phone? Documents, but I don't want to bring it out. So,
Bring it
so
out.
Carlos, I don't want you to be very to have preferential that you always treat and protect Mel in the reunions. I want to speak my mind because she's releasing so much false information." I'm like, wow.
He's so silly. When does Carlos ever protect Mel?
I don't know
Let's
what kind of
Right,
definition
I'm like,
protection,
he
but I
protects
definitely don't
your
want
ass.
that.
He does not
right.
protect Mel. And I hope that Mel comes to this reunion with a vengeance. I hope that she comes and like she comes for every single one of them, including Carlos, and then says, and now I'm done.
I like how she comes like during the show where she does her live tweets, or she
And
comes
this
on
is
to
the
let you know
problem.
how
This
she's
is
feeling as
one
she's
more
watching.
reason. This is one more reason why I think this season is having low views. Mel is actually the only one promoting the entire show. She posts about the sneak peek. She does live tweeting. The others are just sitting, expecting people to watch.
Hmm.
Look at rest of Atlanta ladies. Candy was live tweeting, Sheree was live tweeting, Kenya was live tweeting. It gets people interested in watching because they're like, oh,
Hmm.
why is she tweeting this? Let me go check. But nothing.
Right.
And the thing is,
And
they're
then
being
you guys, oh, go
because
ahead.
they're trying to make if they're trying to make more money from Love and Marriage Huntsville, they need to put in more. If you're not promoting the show, more people are not going to find out about the show. If they don't find out
Hmm.
about the show, you will continue to get that raggedy ass check you're getting. It just
Right,
doesn't make any
They
sense.
barely pay them
right.
anything.
And then y'all wonder why everybody is for Mel. She's actually doing what it takes to keep growing and keep going. She's showing us what it means to push through, and what it takes to run a business, be a businesswoman, while y'all are sitting back steady hanging onto her coattail, riding it like a pony. Like,
Hmm.
get off this woman's back, and y'all just need to go. I don't see the show lasting too much longer because there's nothing that the others
And
bring.
the best thing that can happen to this show currently
Hmm.
is for it to move to another station,
Hmm.
preferably Bravo, because they actually share like the same kind of viewers.
Hmm.
and
That's the
and
best thing
on
that can
Bravo, they
actually
would bring out the truth. They will
happen.
expect the truth, and over there, they do not play. So yeah, that might be a good place. Let's find out the real y'all.
I think Carlos is too close to his employees or whatever he wants to call his
It's
cast
too
members.
emotional.
I think he's
When he
too
Mm.
went
close to
when
them.
he went to that media tour with Martell, I was like, nah, this is terrible. Then he came,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, the network said we should do this. You can't see Andy doing that.
Yeah,
Right.
you push back.
Did you
You
hear my
so push
statement?
back.
He said the network said he should go on a media tour with Martell.
But then that also shows that
Hmm.
TV is not okay with the way Mattel has been running things. But
Mm-mm.
instead of holding him and sitting him down like this toxic behavior is not acceptable on our platform, instead you are trying to get him, I don't know, publicist or
To
try
look
to.
like a saint.
But he was only
They
really promoting Real Housewives of Atlanta. It didn't really seem too much like he was trying to promote Love and Marriage Huntsville.
never
I
promoted
feel
it.
like he's trying to
He never
distance
talked about
Martell
the
from
show
that.
was fun.
Yeah, and honestly, it was about bashing Mel too. Like that's pretty much what that tour was about. Anything
So
that any mention of Mel, anything that had to do with her, because I felt because that's where the money comes in. The
Mhm.
mention of Mel, anything that has to do with her, that's where the ratings go up. That's where the money comes in. That's why everybody is getting checks right now is because of Mel.
Yep, you
and
would
that
think they
should
would treat
tell you
her better.
that you need to work hard. Because for you to depend, for everybody to depend on hating on Mel to have a storyline, That's crazy. That's why I'm sort of happy about this Keke and Tiffany's wreaths, because this is the only wreath that has nothing to do with Mel. Okay, it has though, but currently not anymore.
They'll find a way. They'll find a way for Mel to be involved.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
because Tiffany's Mel's friend, and actually, it kind of has been. Mel has been kind of brought into that because it was, oh, how could you do this and be Mel's friend, or how could Mel invite you to this and not your cousin, and you did your cousin wrong because of Mel type thing. Like, I don't know. Mel
Yeah,
is
they
going to
really.
always be brought in and try to be portrayed as the problem in every situation, even ones that don't involve her at all.
The Scots were really depending on Miss Wanda for their storyline, and it was very obvious. But anyways, let's move on to the tea party.
Ooh, child, let me get my notes. Says, honey, Betty, come here, the Betty.
Ah,
I think the first thing I have to say on this is if your mom does not like someone, why would you bring your mother to that person's party?
and
You
why
know
did she attend?
exactly what you are doing. That's my first thing. And I know Gigi, you have a lot to say, so I'm gonna let you go ahead.
No, I think
Here, hold on. Y'all go ahead and get ready because I got to prepare for this one. Because Betty, 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 honey, listen, I already sent for your daughter. I could send for you too if you really, really want it. Because,
Oh,
man, how in the world? First off, you say that you didn't like her because you didn't like Mel because her energy. Why, baby? Because that energy that's the best energy you gonna get.
ooh.
It's very rare that you find anybody with a piece of energy that she has, even a little grain of sand. Okay, Mel is that it. Okay, so for you to lie and say that you have a problem with her because of her energy, no, you have a problem with yourself, and you have a problem because your daughter can't get to that level. See, y'all think that money is what makes you and gives you your status. Okay, money might be what your bank account shows, and that might be the status of your bank account. But as far as who you are as a businesswoman and as a person, honey, that just shows that you know how to make money, but you don't know how to maintain it. That just shows that you don't know how to really run a business, man. Because you have 4 employees and your mama sitting here looking like a hot ass mess with roaches in her hair that are growing
like
out to be maggots.
let me put the picture of the mom. This woman is
Betty,
legit
Betty,
catfish.
hold on. I'm gonna say this,
Cat.
Betty, Betty, baby. You see this? You see this right here? Hold on. I'm gonna show you, Betty. These is dreads, baby. This is what dreads look like, okay, Betty? If now I can't give you my secrets because I do it myself, but baby, listen. If you need some help, I might help you just because you out here looking crazy. But no, Betty. Okay, so it was her energy, and then hold on. Let me see to make sure, cause Betty. Mm, mm. The way you came for Miss Nail,
Oh, that was unacceptable. That
because
was
first of all, she wasn't even talking to you. Didn't nobody at that table know who you was? Did
yeah.
nobody know who you was?
She
And
was
you come
offended
in.
by that.
Nail was speaking to the
Mm.
ladies who actually have the problem. But you wanted to insert yourself and act like you were the main one with the problem. All right, Betty, just wait. Just wait. Give me a second. Give me 2.3. I got you, Betty. I got you, cause lady, you steady trying to. I gotta calm down because I'm trying not to cuss, but I'm telling you, every cuss word is coming to my mind, and I'm trying to. You think your daughter knows how to curse, baby? Listen, I will cuss you out in 3.2 and make you go to therapy.
Ooh.
'Cause,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, how do y'all feel about how she came from us now? What do y'all feel about that?
I just feel like it was so unacceptable. It was so totally uncalled for. It just seemed like she was
It
looking
was
for a
ratchet.
moment. It was like it had nothing to do with you. She was
How
having
will
a
you go? Just look at it from an etiquette perspective. How
Yeah.
do you come to someone's party and tell the person to shut up?
I know. She's like, shut up.
Right.
I'm like, what?
Now shut up, girl. Who are you talking to?
I would have escorted you out of my party. Like, this is the person that need, like, for real, needs to be escorted out. I will escort you and your daughter out. Like, whatever thing you guys have to speak from the gate.
Well, you know the
Mhm.
thing. I feel like that's what she was hoping for, so that
I don't care.
everyone can go over and say, "Oh, Melody escorted us."
I'm never the bigger
It
person
doesn't
in the
matter.
house. I will never be
Charles
the
like,
bigger
I'm taking the
person.
low road.
I'm never going to be the bigger person, because I realized that in life, when you keep being the bigger person, people will keep expecting to be the bigger person. That's why people keep expecting Mel to allow Martell to invade our privacy, invade our boundaries. I
Right.
will never be the bigger person ever.
No.
So if
No.
you, in the words of Candy, if you go low, she's going straight to hell. Like,
Listen, Betty Kruger. Listen, you just mad. You talking about you don't like the way Mel moves? No, you just don't like the fact that she moves better than you and your slick snake ass daughter. That's what you mad about. You mad at the fact that even though that she is pumping out them products out of her home, she's getting them orders out, and she's doing a hell of a lot better than what your daughter could ever do. That's why she don't have an F rating at the Better Business Bureau, because she knows how to be a businesswoman. You and your daughter do not. And you talking about you got a problem with the way she moves. You need to have a problem with your daughter, because clearly she got a hair care line, but she ain't helping with your hair. What's the problem? What happened? You're supposed to be her mama. She's supposed to get you right. She got you out here looking like a whole clown. And you really want to come for Melody. You know what? Like I said, baby, if you want, hit me up in my DMs and I might help you and show you how to get your hair luxurious like mine, okay? Because, honey, what you got is not.
Let's look at our reason. The first one, she said, because of the recording. For someone who claims she watched the show, it was very obvious when they showed Destiny playing the recording. So it's only if you have a guilty conscience that you would think they were speaking about you, because it was so obvious that when they started saying, "Oh, Mel is coming at Stormi," even the fans were confused as at where is Mel coming for Stormi from?
Right.
Because they were the one that started the narrative. They were the one who kept the narrative going, and then they are mad. You know, it's like you started a problem, the other person refused to entertain you, and then you're mad at it.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it's like, are you upset that Mel didn't come to Stormi's defense? Or are you mad at the fact that Stormi probably had something to really do with it and you know it? Because I just don't understand how you're saying that, oh, well, you didn't come out directly and say it wasn't Stormi. Even if she
Why
made a
would I
post.
help you? Your daughter said we were not friends. I don't even help my
Right.
friends. I'm sorry,
That's
this is
exactly.
reality
We are
TV.
not even friends like
You
that. So
need-
I'm not about to defend you like that.
Crazy.
And that's the
Let's
thing,
even look
it's
at it
her
from the
TV
perspective of
show.
being in work. This is reality TV. You need things to keep driving. And excuse me, you have to be petty enough to be popular. So I'm going to come to your defense. You were the one who said I was speaking about you. Then bring evidence you were never the one. I'm not going to defend you. I'm not going to say Stormi. I'm not going to say she even did too much by saying the person that came to my house was not the person.
I know. I felt like she shouldn't have done that at all. I think she personally should have just left it as what it was. If the shoe fits, wear it. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. You're on a reality TV show. You're there to show your reality. However, the fans or the people who watch the show decide to take it, that's up to them. You can go online and correct things and hope that people see it, but no cast member needs to clear it up for you.
Right.
Mel and Tisha we've been fighting for 2-3 years. I never heard Tisha coming to say Mel should have clarified anything. So sit down somewhere, miss. It sounds
right.
stupid.
Why didn't she even have to come out and say what she said? She could have left it at what it is. If you feel some type of way about it, that's you. But that just shows your immaturity because as a woman, if you know that you didn't do something, you're not gonna get upset about it. You're just gonna be like, dang, that was, that's messed up that this happened. But you're not finna get butt hurt. Next thing you know, your mama's all up in your business as if, she's the principal of the
She
school
brought
and
her
her daughter's
mom
getting bullied.
to. She had already told her mom, "We are going there. You are coming to fight Mel." There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing. My mom always had some things against Mel. She's coming to get her chest. Man, shut the fuck up. Your mom looks stupid. If she has
Mm-hmm.
something in her chest for a girl that is up to like her daughter's age, don't you see
Mm-hmm.
how ridiculously useless? Oh, let me know. Let me know.
Calm down now.
Because it's crazy that she's beefing with somebody that did not even know you had a beef with her.
Right.
It's like you're beefing with yourself. That's exactly what it was. And the thing is, if you guys watch their facial expressions, right, it was like they really wanted to fight. They wanted to come
Right.
ruin Mel's event. They wanted to come and like bring that energy, and Mel would give it back to them, and then it would end up in like chaos. That's what they wanted to do. But Mel did not give them that satisfaction, and he had a stand face the whole time. Who has a stank face after someone just apologized, even though they didn't need to apologize? Seriously.
Right. And then what's
I
so
would have
even crazy
apologized.
about that is the way she came for Nell to
Oh my
even
God.
create
I
an
was
even bigger problem.
Yeah.
Like you're creating a
because she
problem
was
with a woman who doesn't even know you.
very question what is going on. See,
Right.
guilty conscience is really eating them up because if someone has said, "Oh, I've been feeling some negative energy between Mel and Stormi," and it's
Right.
Stormi, the audacity to say, "Well, it's you are talking and you don't have anything, you're not privy to the information, blah blah blah." So
I'm like, Stormi, that's reach coming from you because you're always interrupting in things that you have nothing to do with.
Mm-hmm.
and when they
Like,
called
And
her rude, did you see the way she
right.
squeezed that face?
Do you
yeah.
see how Betty when she was like, so is it that you have a problem with Stormy or Stormy's mom? And Nell was like, I don't know Stormy's mom. I'm Stormy's mom. Okay, girl.
Like,
Somebody listen, lady, you need to be in the house until Halloween. Stop it.
can I just say, like,
Stop.
Nell looks so beautiful. Like, she looks
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous. She looks so.
Absolutely.
I was
See,
just like,
that's class.
when you mind your business and you have like a nice life, you're not out here like fighting your people your daughter's age. Like, seriously, maybe that's how she would look. But yeah.
Right. Your skin would
Yes.
start looking good. The wrinkles wouldn't be there.
A catfish because the picture she has on her Facebook compared to like come on, look at the difference.
Mm, 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 mm.
Oh my God. Did you say she looks like a catfish?
This is catfish. Look at how she looks hot. Come on.
She looks like that laboratory made tilapia fish. She just looks lab made. She looks kind of like a labradoodle if you look at her.
Oh my gosh, you guys are wired for that.
Nah, she looks really, to be honest, because I watched it after the episode premiere. I was like, damn. If you see her profile pictures on every social media, you will know that she over edits because she knows she looks ugly. It's the same way her heart is ugly.
She's always frowning. She just looks like that's how she goes through life, just mad and angry. Like, calm down. It's not that serious. But for her to basically say that no, it's not the energy you feeling is with the other ladies, it's with me. Nobody at the table knows who you are. Nobody knows about the drama or the problem that you have in your mind with yourself, with Mel. And also, those problems are coming from your daughter. Your daughter's telling you stuff, making up stuff, and you're sitting there running with it. Now you and your daughter are in cahoots about a woman that's not even her friend. But I think that it's that you wanted the relationship because I feel like you stalked your way on the show. You was able to, finesse your way on there, and it's not going exactly how you thought it was.
It was
You
never
thought
going
that you was going to be as popular as Mel. You thought that you were going to be able to, you know, walk on there and
never
just,
really like this girl. To be
yeah, you
honest.
thought you was going to be so loved. No, honey, your attitude sucks, and we all see it.
Also, did you pick up something that Betty said about there being like comparison? Like Mel doesn't stand up when there's like comparison between her and Stormi, and I'm like, why should she say anything? It's almost
Right,
like Betty is upset that people are comparing the fact that how Mel does business versus how Stormi does business, and people are comparing them and of course Mel is the one winning in that competition, and I think that's what her
right.
problem is. That's why she's so pressed.
Yeah,
You know,
that's just like with the whole incident.
I feel like in her mind she thinks remove Mel out of the way and Stormi would shine, but the truth is that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if no one is still gonna like Stormi. That's it's just the reality.
That's why she has to always compare Stormy to Mel, just like with the whole incident between Stormy and Black Titanic. Okay, so now here comes Betty wanting to jump in and start comparing to Mel. Stormy's got a warehouse and the rent isn't cheap. It costs a lot, and she's not, working out of her home like your idol or like your favorite person. Okay, well, guess what? I'm gonna tell you what. I'll take the one that's working out their house over Stormy, who's got a warehouse with 4 employees.
But isn't delivering products.
Right. At least I know I'm gonna get my stuff from mail. My stuff's gonna come, and it's gonna come quickly with no delay. Your stuff, we don't know if we're gonna get it this year or if we're gonna have to use it in an apocalypse that's coming soon, honey. Like we don't know when we gonna get this. Where is your Amazon shipping company? Oh, I forgot. You owe Apex. That's why your shipping ain't really working because you owe people.
Oh, allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly.
It's
Exactly.
not even alleged. It's out there.
Right. That's information, but I'm just saying. You clearly owe, so something's not right. But how can you have a warehouse of 4 people and then your mama sitting here acting like she has a problem with Mel because Mel is actually producing products.
She has
Mel is
changed
actually
her reason
doing.
why she hates Mel about 4 times. If we're counting, first
Mm.
Mhm,
because allegedly Mel called Stormy ghetto.
mhm.
2, he doesn't like the way Mel behaves. 3, the alleged recording that obviously she was not referring to her. Then now, Stormy came on an interview saying that her mom doesn't like Mel because Mel said her son Chase needed to be disciplined.
Right.
Mhm. Where's
So pick
that
But,
one.
from? It's like they
but
just pull
see,
hairs out of their asses.
yeah, and Betty also said herself that she didn't like Mel because of Mel's energy. What's wrong with her energy?
Mm.
Because she's not ratchet and ghetto like your daughter and you. Like, I don't understand how people can really say, like, oh, Mel is just such this bad person and I can't stand to be around her. Like, is it is it because she's too real and y'all just can't deal with a person who is actually going to tell you the truth and kind of, what I'm saying, let you know what it is and do what she says she's doing? Is it because she can show proof of everything she says and you guys can't? I've yet to see anyone else who can actually show what they're doing that they say they're doing.
Yep.
Everybody else has problems. Have you guys seen any scandals on Mel? I haven't seen everybody else come up with lawsuits. I haven't seen any from Mel.
Nothing on Mel. Nothing on
Don't
Mel.
worry, Martell is working hard on that.
He's trying. He's definitely trying.
Working really, really hard on that. So now let's go to Tiffany, my best women of the night.
Mm.
Tiffany and Keke.
Uh,
Now, Keke was my spirit animal. I'm sorry. I know that she is pained because Tiffany rightfully called her out. Because
Mm,
what Keke did, obviously she knows it was wrong.
mm.
But man,
Mm-hmm.
she gave Tiffany a run for her money.
She did. And I enjoyed every moment of it. I was like, can I replay this episode back? Like,
Yeah.
I loved every minute of
I
it.
took a screenshot of everything that she
Yeah.
said. She
I
first
think,
said, poor, pitiful, sad soul. And then they
oh,
reminded Tiffany, you're pregnant, honey.
honey.
It's like, well, I've always known who my dad was.
Mm,
Do you know, I
Yes.
actually
Oh.
see from both their sides. Because
mhm.
why is Tiffany lying? And the thing is that Keke is an English professor. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously she needed to correct Tiffany by saying that what did she even say? I do not know.
Difference between know of and know. Difference
Right.
between someone and know someone.
Right.
Yeah, so she needed to clarify that because Tiffany was making it seem like the first time she met her when they were trying to find her father was the first time. To be honest, I thought that was the first time.
I did
I
too.
thought it was the first time. So to find out that they've actually known themselves previously was just crazy.
Yep.
It seems like Huntsville's kind of small, so I would think that they
They
would kind
know.
of know each other. But yeah, when Keke came out and said, like, look, my my kids played sports on your husband's team. We sat and talked together. You've met my mom, my in-laws. You
I
know
was
me. I was like, wait, what? So y'all really know each other. And Tiffany really sat back and has made it seem as though she just knows nothing. She, doesn't know the dynamic of Keke. She doesn't know her family dynamic, anything. So it makes me look at Tiffany a little bit differently. I'll admit it. I
The
don't know,
thing
Tiffany.
I don't know, I think is a tricky one. I say that because like to certain people, know of to them makes them feel like okay, like we've been around each other, but we haven't interacted enough for me to actually say I know you as a person, like who you are. And then to other people, know of just means oh, you're just a random I've seen on the corner of the street. I don't know you like that. So I feel like
Mhm.
people use it differently. But Kiki is a word swordsman as far as I'm concerned. She went straight for the juggler. I was here for it. And also, what is interesting is the part that got me was I don't know if you guys picked up that Kimmi jumped in,
she's
which
always jumping in like girl, shut up.
Yeah. And
top.
she jumps in at the wrong time. Like,
I think she intentionally does it because the thing is, let's be honest, this whole season, Kimmi hasn't really had much going on. So I feel like this season she feels like she must interrupt because it's like it's
mhm.
constant. And Kimmi definitely has an issue with Kiki. We know it, we can sense it, but she's not
Yeah.
aggressive. So
It's
instead, she's
because she keeps
passive.
reminding Kimmy about Maurice cheating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Instead, she's
That
going to be passive aggressive and interrupt everything. How can you say to Kiki, did you call Tiffany after? Why is she gonna
Like,
call
is it
her?
my dad?
right. Why are you worried about it?
You're the one who needs the favor. Why do I have to call you? Like,
It's
why do I have
crazy.
to call you? It doesn't make any sense. And what's your business? It's just like mind your business. And what was interesting was, unless of course we know how production edits things, but what came after did you call her after, right? Was I've always known who, no, I didn't. I've always known who my daddy was. I think she means like, why I gotta be the one calling her? She's the one that needs a favor from me. I know who my dad is. She's the one who
Right.
wants to know. So she needs a favor from me. Why do I have to call her back?
Yeah, but the
Hmm.
tone was just wrong because she was pissed off from the question that this lady was asking, and then it sounded like a jab. And the thing that really threw me off was the fact that Kimmy still interjected saying, yeah, but that's why I was like, that was a jab. Like, girl,
Mind
nobody
your
asked
business.
you.
Right. Like, first off, Kimmy, are you trying to be the peacemaker or are you trying to be the troublemaker?
Pick one
Because,
side.
like, you were exactly, you're trying to do both. And it's really giving off that because you don't have control in your marriage and in your home, you are trying to control outside situations right now and insert yourself in them and act like you are still have control in some way. And like you said, she don't like Keke. Like there's definitely a problem, especially after Keke called her out for lying. It's starting to come out. The truth is it's starting to come out and it's going to come to the light. Everything is. Maurice cheating, Marsau cheating, and just how much they all really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do not know why she's defending this man. He's making you look like a fool on TV.
Mhm.
Well, I guess it's like, oh, I'm in the age that, oh, I might as well just stick with Maurice.
Right.
So is that really necessary?
Yeah. I think
7 years that you guys were together before getting engaged and married. Okay, I know a lot of people who wait, a long time to get engaged, but I feel like you guys knew that there was problems in the beginning.
Yeah, and allegedly she was a side.
Exactly. Allegedly, he was already married. So that means you're an adulterer.
She was the one who pursued him. She pursued him.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. That's one of the reasons Monster does not respect her, because he probably knew what happened and he sees her as a side chick and a home wrecker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why he's made the statement several times, and he's the one who let it be known to Martell about Kimmi being a side chick.
He doesn't respect her, and she knows it.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I did not know that part of it.
Oh, what part? That Marcel told Martell?
About the side chick.
Yeah, so do you guys remember when Melody first found out she was pregnant with Sugar Mama and they was inside the doctor's office and Martell was telling her about Kimmi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it came out then. Marcel was the one that told him.
So it's probably...
And I think he actually even brought it up on the reunion at one point, or even in another episode. I'll find it, but yeah,
it was very embarrassing.
That explains
and she gets real upset about it anytime you mention her being a side chick, and it's like there's some truth to it somewhere. I feel.
Yeah, there must have been some overlap, because why are you so upset?
Mm-hmm.
There was an overlap
to you that much.
It was very.
And also, Maurice, is that why you can't really be in the same room with both of them at the same time for too long? Because you really can't face what you did?
Ooh, another angle. He's always running out of conversations. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it always leaves her to do with him. Because I'm sure when he sees the monster, he will always read him the flute. You know how teenagers are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like there's some there's some overlap somewhere there, but Kimmi, you're inserting yourself and stuff because I feel like you know that you don't have that control at home, so you're trying to find it anywhere.
100%, because there's no way that would be tolerated by Maurice. I get the impression Maurice is very controlling. This is my opinion.
He sounds worse than Marsau.
He sounds like it's his way or the highway. He sounds, like you said, worse than Marsau. Worse. Because he doesn't even listen to what she's saying. It's like she says something and then he manipulates the situation and turns it around and acts like he doesn't even understand what she's saying when she's speaking very clearly. We understand it. We can hear what she's saying. So we know, and he must be smart enough to, if he passed the law school exam, okay? He knows the implications of words. He knows what words mean. To pass the exam, you must know and understand words and their implications. So why is it suddenly that every time you're talking to your wife, you suddenly don't understand basic?
He becomes dumb. He becomes like dull. It's so crazy.
Right. He just doesn't understand. And it's like, sir, I'm asking you legit questions. He does it, Latisha. You know how she was when they were talking, and Mel was like, "So, what is the budget?" And she's like, "Huh? Budget? What?" That's Maurice. Maurice is like, "Parenting, discipline, what? Huh?" Like, sir,
You're
listen,
telling me he doesn't listen?
sir. I'm gonna need for you to grab your penis and your balls out the drawer, remove the vagina. I'm gonna need you to, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Potato Head, that thing, and I'm gonna need you to pull that, get it together, get it together, sir.
Oh Lord.
If you gotta borrow Kimmy's thing, borrow her thing. Whatever you gotta do. But I'm gonna need you to grow some.
Mm, indeed.
Because you are not being a father. And what are you showing this young man? What do you think you're
Nothing.
showing him?
Because if
Definitely
you're
no good
leaving
example.
him to his bonus mom, it will breed resentment.
Mm-hmm.
I will be angry that, oh, you stole my dad, and now you're trying to
Hmm.
control me.
Right. I don't have to listen to you because because I'm gonna tell you, with Kiowa having a problem with Kimmy and having a problem with Kimmy for so long, you don't know what she has spoken to this young man, especially at an early age. At the beginning of it, you don't know what was being said, you don't know what was being shown. So he's going to run with that. And kids remember a lot. So as he's growing and now he had to be taken from his mom, and move with his dad and his dad's new wife who took him, basically split his family up. So yeah, he's going to have resentment. And now you want her to discipline this child that you asked for. No. Uh-uh. This child is definitely not going to listen to her. And you're doing this while she was going through her cancer treatment. That says a lot about you. That
Yeah.
shows where you are in this marriage. And I feel like you like the thought of being married, but as far as actually
The
showing
life
and
is
being a married man,
Yeah.
mm,
To be honest, I don't know what life is like in Huntsville, but I get the impression that, especially with these couples, it's almost like they're obsessed with the idea of staying married
they
and looking
are.
at a united front. This man embarrasses you every chance he gets. He
mhm,
gets you so publicly. Like for those who watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, the only thing I can remember that sort of looks like it is Ralph and Drew. He gaslights you so much constantly. He acts like, and one thing about Kimmi is when she speaks to Maurice, she is so clear in her communication.
She
It's as
does know how
clear
to
as
communicate.
day. She knows how
right,
to speak properly when she wants to. But it's like, but instead, he's just always constantly gaslighting her, manipulating the situation, and she's just there looking. And then she tries to like turn it into a joke. Have you noticed? It's almost like she smiles
She
through
gives
it
up too
to
easily. Like, oh,
minimize the impact.
let it calm.
Yeah, exactly.
mm,
Because she knows she's not going to go off on him in front of us, because then
no,
we'll see the cracks for what they are. We already see,
exactly,
but then that would validate what we already know.
right, because
If I
that
was
the
Carlos,
phone call was that if the phone call itself of him just calling Kiowa when she was trying to discuss this with him, since they're in the same house and this is your son, that right there spoke volumes and shows that there is definitely a crack in the foundation. And I don't know how well this house is going to stand.
100%. Yeah, it was very much just given like, let's just pretend and then we can talk about it after. And the thing about it is like, I don't know what it is about the show. I know part of it is like, okay, they don't really want to share like their personal life, but it's mad. Like, how is it that they can continue to be on a show about love and marriage and not share enough about their
Any
love and
love?
marriage? It doesn't
Right.
make any sense. Like, the reason we loved the show was because Melody was so authentic with it and shared the whole thing. And that's why people will continue to love her. We can see through the
Hmm.
phone. That's why we're not buying any of their stories. No one
Right.
wants, no one is going to watch people acts like they're transparent when they're not.
Right.
So yeah, until they
And
decide,
that's exactly how it is.
the show will continue to be a flop, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's why I said Melody could do a show just by herself because the rest of them bring nothing. There is nothing that they bring. And for them to
And
really
they'll go
more
on
so,
interview talking about how they are important, how they made the show. It's just really crazy sometimes.
Carlos is gassing them all up. He is the battery in the backs of all of them except for Mel. And actually, that brings me to the question that I have for you ladies.
Mm.
So, this is just my opinion. I want to know you guys'. Do you feel that Carlos may be jealous of Mel and her success not only on the show, but in life in general? That is why he is on this damn near like a Bash Mel tour,
No, I think
or
he's
why he's
attracted to
trying to
Martell.
bring the rest of them up.
I think he's attracted to Martell. Yeah, he has a problem with women standing their ground. That's why he has a problem with Candy. He wants to have a replacement for Mel.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I I personally think deep down he is jealous of her. I personally think so. And the reason I say that is I feel like he's jealous of the position that she plays in Mattel's life. Because from day one, like looking at them, seeing their synergy, like was so beautiful at the start of the season. And I feel like he wanted something like that for himself. And then when things broke up, of course, it can never be with Mattel, in my opinion, right? That's just, well, let me just say that. I'll rephrase because I don't know what's happening behind the sheets, okay? But underneath these sheets, honey. But what I will say is, I think he's attracted to Mattel. I think he's attracted to Mattel, and he feels like Melody wronged Mattel by not giving him quotation marks fellatio, right?
Right.
Like I feel like that's all it is because he's like, if it's him, he will kneel down and do what he got to do. That is what.
Right.
And also, anyone who is not going to speak to the person who is clearly the most successful business person on the show. I know people will say Stormi, but the most successful, in my opinion, is not about necessarily only about money, but happy customers, right?
Mm-hmm.
She just started something. She hasn't had the same length of time that Stormi has, for instance, but she's managed to create a business on the show and the business is doing really well. Wouldn't you want to ask someone like that for advice? But instead, you would say you go to Marsau for your business advice? Are you serious? You have an issue with this woman. That's just the reality. Also, I think he has an issue. I agree with you, Slana, that he has an issue with strong women.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
Absolutely.
Can hold their own, women who shine. He has an issue. And he will always, because to him, he feels like those women don't take care of their husbands. And so their husbands go out there looking for other things. And in a way, he feels like the women are the reason the men cheat. That's what I believe. I think those are the issues that he has, in my opinion. What do
I
you think?
also feel that like when it comes to Carlos, he absolutely wants to be the new Mrs. Holt. Okay.
Yep.
I have said this and I will say this to his face if I could ever see him. Honey, when is the wedding? Because Martell said he was going to propose by the end of the year. Baby, you said you had an African man. Martell said that he's part African and was trying to, trying to push that off on the Inez wine. Like, if you do not stop disrespecting the motherland, baby. Anywho. But I feel like Martell is the one. And you're the two.
Carlos
So,
let him go, Mattel.
and I seen what you said in the chat, Lana. Yes, baby. Carlos can definitely give him what he needs. Martell don't even have to close his eyes because allegedly, from what his side piece done said, he like it.
Mm-mm.
And also, I feel like he is jealous of Mel. And with the production, I feel like you can tell because he doesn't promote Love and Marriage Huntsville. he's not promoting like the show. He's more so trying to be. You think about this. You just got syndication on the show that you produce. Okay,
Mhm.
now it's not showing up on your credentials under what you have under the Reign Kingdom or whatever it is.
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Reign.
Mhm.
It's not showing up under there. It shows Love and Marriage DC, but not Love and Marriage Huntsville.
That's weird.
Exactly. I thought that too. I was like, kind of odd. But then you also are on YouTube. You're a host. You're a producer. Why are you trying to be a blogger on YouTube? Why are you? I don't understand. So I feel like you're jealous of Mel, and you're just trying to.
That's crazy.
Like you're mad because she is actually doing everything that you want to do when it comes to the show. She's actually like the visionary and the one that is really making this thing what it is, and you're mad that you're not getting quite the credit that you feel you deserve.
He barely promotes the show. He promotes Bravo as if they are paying him. At this point, I'm like, are they paying him to sabotage on TV? Because it's crazy to me.
I think he's
That's a good angle.
I think he's too emotionally invested. I think that's his problem. I think he gets too emotionally involved and invested in things that have nothing to do with him. He can't get over the fact that he got allegedly fired from Bravo. That's what
He definitely can't.
I think that's
what
what
he was speaking in the video, in the interview, saying, well, people still call me from the former productions. I'm like, come on.
Who is calling you? Like, stop with
right.
the lie. Allegedly.
We are done.
Like,
it just, come on. We know too much. First off, you and Martell are doing way too much. You are the link between him and Sheree. That's the friend. And in my opinion, and allegedly, I don't think Sheree likes men like that.
Nah, Sheree
and I definitely don't feel like her and him have had sex because, honey, you said he exudes.
That they've had sex today. Oh, even when I give her a 10, I'm like,
oh, listen, stop it, because she said that you exude BDE, and honey, we can't find it, so I'm pretty sure she can't either. Now, I have tried to zoom in several times because you always wear some tight clothes, and you zoom in, and I still can't find it. Let me tell you, this might be TMI, but baby, I'm gonna say it anyway. Listen, my husband can wear some loose shit, loose, and you still see it. I'm like, God damn it! You know what? I think you're gonna have to tape that motherfucker up or something. Oh, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to do something. Martell does not have that.
He doesn't.
Where is it? Like microscopes, telescopes, like I don't know. We're gonna have to try to send a SOS signal to it, put a little red dot on it so it beeps and we can find it. I don't know. But honey, I don't think Sheree and him is really doing that thing. I don't think so. That's just in my opinion.
Yeah. As this comment said, emotionally invested is AK unprofessional. We still haven't forgiven you for starting the rumor that Candy was trying to drug Portia down. I'm telling you, this man has started so much rumors. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Nobody's happy about the toxic stuff going on Love Marriage Huntsville. That's why I was confused about Martell and Marsau being very like the way they were somehow because Tisha and Mel are now speaking. They really want these women to keep going at it so that they can be off the fire. No matter what they do, everybody will just be focused on what Tisha and Mel are doing. It's crazy to me.
Right. I thought that it was crazy that they actually tried to compare Mel letting Tisha come to the birthday party, but not letting Martell come. That was crazy to me because there's a court order that states it's not his time. He was not allowed to be there. He knew ahead of time he wasn't allowed to be there. I think it's messed up that production even allowed it because they saved him a parking spot. They mic'd him up. They knew what was going on.
Productions were in on it.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
they were messy.
Yep. Also, I have a question. Like, how do you guys feel about the whole season so far? Like, I know how I feel, but I'm just curious. Like, how do you feel so far? Do you feel like there's like a progression of the storylines? Do you feel like this season, you know what this season is about, or what do you guys think?
I
There's no
honestly feel like it's
progression.
going downhill. I don't see it getting any better because none of them are giving any more of themselves.
Mm,
There's really not a lot of like I don't
Genuine
know.
story.
There's no exactly. There's no genuine storylines for any of
This
them.
point is just because people have their favorites. That's why they're
mm,
tuning in. The
yeah.
show is dying. It
Hmm.
needs to move for it to resurrect. It needs to move to another network.
Mm,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say fire, fire, fire because regardless, sorry, oh, when my lights went off, regardless of who the fire,
hmm
if we still keep having unprofessional people working, no PR, nobody doing anything, the show is going to die.
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
I
guys,
feel
let's
like
wrap it
moving it to
up.
another network that would be good.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Today, I'm actually not feeling too well, but oh well.
I'm sorry,
So,
hon.
yeah, thank you. So, guys, the episode was actually not that bad, to be honest. Do you guys have any closing speech? Who wants to speak so that we can close the live?
Well, just happy Mother's Day to everyone out there, and I hope that you guys have a blessed and wonderful day. I love the panel and the discussion today, and I look forward to it tomorrow. And we're just gonna have to see what's going on with Love Marriage Huntsville because it doesn't seem like it's gonna be getting too better. And I feel like the final season or the final episodes are coming soon, so it really hasn't given too much this season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So,
think, to be
guys,
honest,
that's
I
it.
have nothing to say, but yeah.
So, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. So, don't forget to subscribe to Gigi Nan's page or Queen's Tea with
Yep,
Gigi
with
Nan.
Jesus'
Let
name.
me, yeah, let me put it up so you can see the Gigi Nan spelled there. A Queen's Tea. And also subscribe to recaps and reviews and recaps. So thank you guys. Subscribe, like. Will be here tomorrow 5 p.m. EST to talk about Relapse of Atlanta. I hope that will be better than Love Marriage Huntsville.
Yeah.
So good night, guys.
Well, good night, everyone. Happy Mother's Day again.
Thursday. Bye, everyone.
Bye.